For the past few months, I had been saying that I would expect Terraria 1.4.5 to release with Terraria's 14th birthday, aka May 16th. It is May 18th. I was wrong. 1.4.5 Terraria is kinda crazy because it got announced in 2023, everybody expected it to come out around that time, and now we're here in the middle of 2025 and we still don't have the update. So I thought it would be fun to talk about it a little bit, talk about a few things. Should the update be taking this long, but more importantly, how much longer is it really gonna take? Is 1.4.5 coming this year or not? Let's just get started by getting it out of the way that I think that Terraria 1.4.5 taking so long is actually perfectly fine. It's not ideal that it's been well over 2 years since the announcement, but it's important to note how much content we've already seen is going to come with the update. They're going to have multiple crossovers, new boss themes for a few of the bosses, a bunch of new weapons, and new blocks as well. There might not be a new boss or anything completely game-changing, but it does seem like a pretty substantial update. I would always take a big, exciting, interesting update that takes an extra year or two to come out, rather than a bunch of small updates that don't really add much to the game. Shigeru Miyamoto something rushed game quote. I understand why some people are frustrated with how long the update's taken, and to be fair, I think that it's totally understandable to say I don't think it should have been announced so early. I get they're trying to build hype and everything, but announcing an update that's going to come in 2025 or even later in 2023 is kinda crazy. I think the developers definitely expected the update to be released by 2023, but it's still a little bit disappointing that we've been waiting for so long knowing that the update's in the works. But with all of that being said, when it comes to when the update's actually gonna come out, we can't know for sure, but I would say that it is more than likely, almost certainly, gonna be this year. Yes, it seems big, and it's interesting, and it's fun, and I can't wait for it, but it can't be big enough to have to wait another year. Relogic has said that right now they're really focusing on polishing up a few things, adding a few new additions that they think would be kinda cool, and not really doing anything game-changing as of right now. And if they're in that stage where they're really just finishing the update and adding the final touches, it's definitely gonna come out sometime soon. I would love if Terraria 1.4.5 came out a little bit earlier, but I think it's fair to assume that it'll come out around the holiday season. It would just make sense. That's when more people are gonna be playing Terraria than ever. That gives them a good window to actually release the update with a lot of people being interested in it. And while I would prefer a summer release like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I think that they would have announced it by now. Obviously they're probably learning from their mistakes and trying not to get too ahead of themselves, but if this update was coming out in summer or even fall, they definitely would have told us by now. I think it's almost certainly coming later in the year, but by no means will be released in 2026. I cannot wait for the update, and while the hype has kind of died down since 2023 and 2024, I'm sure so many players will be interested as well when it actually releases. But what do you think about 1.4.5? Do you think it'll release sometime this year, and do you think they've overhyped it or not? Make sure to leave what you think in the comments. As always, make sure to subscribe as well because we're getting pretty close to 3K. Alright, bye-bye.